early voting is underway in Ohio for voters to strengthen their state's constitution by voting yes on issue one. Now, currently in Ohio, a mere 50% of the popular vote can permanently change Ohio's constitution on any issue. Quite frankly, that leaves it pretty vulnerable to whatever well-funded campaign group may come along for any kind of national activist type scenario. So issue one fortifies the state constitution by requiring 60% of the vote for any such constitutional change. Now, this is especially important this year because in November, Ohio voters will have abortion on the ballot as a proposed amendment for the Constitution. So this is all coming down to be a major battle. Well, joining me now from Ohio to discuss this is Aaron Baer. He's the president of the Center for Christian Virtue. Aaron, welcome to Washington Watch. Great to have you with us this evening.
Hey, great to be back with you.
All right. Well, many viewers obviously are not from Ohio, and they're probably surprised to be learning for the first time that it frankly takes so little in Ohio to change the state's constitution. How does that leave Ohio vulnerable, really, to whatever kind of well-funded national activist group may come along?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think what's important for the viewers outside of Ohio to understand is that today it's Ohio, tomorrow it's going to be your state. The left has really made clear this is their agenda. You know, with a state constitution that's so easily manipulated, so easily amended, the left has recognized that their biggest advantage is the deep pockets of their funders like George Soros and the ACLU and Planned Parenthood and the unions. And so they recognize they don't actually need to win state legislative races or governor's races or things like that in states like Ohio that have a very vulnerable state constitution because of this low threshold. They can just spend as much money as they want to manipulate voters, to put on deceptive ads, and get their entire agenda into our state constitution, locking it in for generations to come. It's not just, abortion on demand up until birth. It's also a complete abolishment of parental rights, parental consent. Under this constitutional amendment, a minor would be able to get an abortion without their parents' knowledge or consent. They'd even be able to get transgender medicine, sex change surgeries without their parents' knowledge or consent. I mean, really what you see this is, it's the complete Californication of Ohio in one ballot amendment. And they've made really clear, our friends at SBA Pro-Life America have tracked them and have seen, they've made it really clear that they want to put these constitutional amendments in many other states in 2024. So really, it's our responsibility in Ohio to stop them here and show the pro-life movement how to defeat these radical amendments.
Yeah, it really is radical. And not surprisingly, the pro-abortion activists are misleading the public, as you were just talking about. In fact, I've got a clip here from the co-chair of Ohioans United for Reproductive Rights. And here's what was said yesterday on MSNBC. Play clip 8, please.
Ohioans have had the right for over 100 years. One person, one vote, majority rule. What our opposition is trying to do is give 40% of Ohioans the right to make every decision on every issue moving forward.
All right. I would love to hear your reaction to that.
Well, once again, we see the left flooding the zone with lies, right? All we're talking about here is amending our state, how we amend our state constitution, right? We don't change the initiated statute process, which can still change state law at 50%. We don't change the General Assembly on how we create most of our laws as passing laws through the General Assembly and the governor signing them. So the idea that this is undermining one person, one vote, it's such a over-the-top claim that the left does. That it shows that they're desperate to try to defeat this. The bottom line is our state's constitution, just like the U.S. Constitution, should be more difficult to amend than just state law, right? We're talking about fundamental principles, right? To change the U.S. Constitution, you need 2/3 of Congress and then 75% of the states to ratify, right? That's because the Constitution should only be changed in rare instances on widely agreed upon principles. Our state constitution, on the other hand, has been so easily manipulated. The best way to understand this is the U.S. Constitution, which is about 250 years old. It's about 7,000 words. The Ohio Constitution, which is about 150 years old, 170 years old, is 70,000 words, because for so long special interests have been jam packing this thing with their political agendas, and this is the time now they're going too far to obliterate parental rights and to allow abortion up to birth without parental consent. That we have to say, nope, enough is enough. This is where we draw the line, and we have to protect our Constitution.
All right, Aaron, we're going to have to move on. Let me just ask you real quickly, what can our viewers and listeners do right now to help fight this battle that Ohio is facing?
Real easy. If you live in Ohio, especially, go to ccb.org/pledge and take the pledge to vote, and then go out and vote. You can vote early. Get those votes banked now before the August 8th election. But at the very least, make sure you vote on August 8th. And if you're outside Ohio, because this is an August election, and because it tends to be a little bit lower turnout, even though turnout is going higher right now than expected, we need you to share and post so every friend or family member you have in Ohio turns out to vote yes in this very important election.
Aaron Baer, thank you so much for joining us on Washington Watch this evening, and thanks so much for the incredible battle that you are engaged with right now in Ohio. May the favor of God be upon you, my friend. Thank you for joining us.
Great for you.